Rashi, on the words in Loven Garti, one of the interpretations, what is Garti? Klomar, im Loven Harosha Garti, v'tarig mitzvah shamarti, although I lived together with Loven Harosha, which was his father-in-law, tarig mitzvah shamarti, v'lo lamarti masav haroim, I did not learn from his evil ways. We've been for Rashi, for Chazal to say, Im Loven Gashtar Mitzvah Shamarti. What does he add? It's evident, if you observed the Targum Mitzvah, you did not learn from his ways. We find that when Yaakov had fled, and after he had the prophecy in Har Moriah, he had woken, he said, V'shavti b'sholom b'eisovi, Sholi min achet, I should be whole, that I shouldn't be impaired as a result of chet. Shlo elmad midarki lovon, I should not learn from the ways of Lovon. So now when he's, after so many years later, he's sending the message to Esav, Targum mitzvah shamati v'lomati masav haroim, I did not learn from his ways, which originally was what he had said to Hashem, I should return sholi min achet, shlo elmad midarki lovon. We find Chazal tell us by Rivki Meinu, when the Torah tells us that Yitzchak had married at the age of 40, Rivka Bas Besuel Harami, Achos Lovon Harami Padnaram. So Rashi cites the Medrash. All this information seemed to be totally superfluous. This is all was discussed in the previous portion. We know her father was Besuel, her brother was Lovon, we know she's from Padnaram. What's all this? What's this information? Why is it being repeated? So Rashi cites Chazal that although her father was a Rosha, Lahagi Shivcha Shel Rivka, to speak about the praiseworthiness of Rivka, although her father was a Rosha, her brother was a Rosha, the members of the community Rishoyim, V'lo lomdo maseim, she did not learn from their ways. So again, we find the same terminology, she did not learn from their ways. Shlomo Melech tells us in Mishlei, and Rashi cites it at the beginning of Noach, it says, Ela told us Noach, these are the children of Noach, and then it seems to digress. Noach ish tzaddik, Tomay b'derosov. So Rashi cites the Medrash. Shlomo Melech tells us in Mishlei, Zecha tzaddik livrocha, that when you mention a tzaddik, you should always immediately identify him in the context of brocha. V'shem Rishon Yirkav. When you mention a Rosha, you don't mention it, it's Yirkav. His name should rot. There shouldn't be a trace of his memory. That's a Rosha. The tzaddik should be extolled, should be magnified, livrocha. Now, the question is why? In life, having role models and seeing people in a special light, special people, that the people should appreciate their value, it's very important. Because if you have that role model, a person's attracted to that person, and he learns and he's impressed and impacted by that person's life. And therefore, Zecha Tzaddik Livrocha. A Tzaddik should always be mentioned in the context of Brocha, but a Rosh Shem B'Shem Yirkav, the Rosh, his name should rot. There should not be a trace of his existence, of his memory. Therefore we find, like Amalek, Mochot Timches Zechar Amalek B'Tachso Shamayim. Amalek should be obliterated, that we're not even permitted to possess anything which had any relevance to them, totally obliterated from existence. That's Shem B'Shem Yirkav. The Gemara tells us in Avodah Zorah that there's a losas, it is a negative commandment of lo sechonim, and there are a number of interpretations of what the application of this negative commandment is. But one of them is lo sitin lo emchein. You should not speak about them in an admirable way, to speak their praises just for the sake of speaking their praises. The Rambam explains why, because when you speak about a person in a special context, you sing his praises, that means you are attracted to him. So even though he may be outstanding in one particular point, which is praiseworthy, but the moment you're attracted to that person, the person contains not only that positive characteristic, he has beliefs he has values. So a non-Jew, because his belief is not the Jewish belief, his value is not the Jewish value, and his characteristics are not Jewish characteristics, therefore we cannot speak his praise, because by speaking his praise, you'll be attracted and you'll be impacted and impressed upon everything else that he contains. Again, so what do we see? This is limud masayim. How is a person impressed, impacted? It doesn't start with sin. Originally, you're impressed with a person's behavior, you're attracted to, you admire his behavior. I did not learn from his ways, meaning Yaakov's relationship with Lavan, although it was his father-in-law, he understood exactly what he was, what he represented. He had no relevance to him, and he saw him in the most negative light. And because he saw him that negative light, I did not learn from his ways, because the moment you're attracted and you admire and you observe his ways, the next, what follows is what is actually crossing that line, is the transgression. And that's what he says. In Lavan Garti, I did not learn from his ways. I wasn't interested in his ways. And as a result of that, therefore, Shemati. Rivka Imenu, although her father was a Russia and her brother was a Russia and the members of the community were Russia, how could you not somehow be impressed? She wasn't impressed. And as a result of that, therefore, she's praiseworthy.